Are Awakening of the New Era cases matte? That seems to be the big question going around, or at least it was. Rumors going around that only the top boxes in a case could actually have any of the the leaders or the specials, or the anniversary Luffys, things like that. So I thought today I'd make a video that showed what our 5 cases that we bought and opened kind of broke out to be. So let's go ahead and dive into that. I'm Mike with Billion Beri.
I'm Tasha.
And let's get into this. So before we get started, quick little thing. I'm going to display some graphics here, kind of show you where everything broke out, but I use little codes. So key is right here. Basically, there's a number of secret boxes, right? The typical secret with 2 alt arts or even just 1 alt art. We usually call those dud boxes. But it's a little different in OP05. In OP05, you can get a secret, an alt, and the anniversary Luffy. So it's almost like a secondary 2 alt art box, but one of those alt arts is guaranteed every time. So in an OP05 case, you're only going to get 2 boxes that have just 1 secret and 1 alt in it. Everything else has 2. Okay. And then I used S for signed Oda and M for manga at the end of 2 of those secret tags. So you'll see that too. And then of course we have leader with 2 alt arts or leader with a special. Okay, so that's the legend. What else? The box orientation. So every box or every case that we opened top to right, and then the bottom row of the upper region left to right as well. And then on the bottom we did the same. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and if you watch this and then watch our case openings or vice versa, you may see that some of these things don't break out the same. We weren't paying close enough attention when we were opening our cases to see which way the boxes were oriented. So I've gone through and I've updated everything here so that Luffy always looks like this when we open our case. All right? So with that, let's go ahead and dive into the breakdown of what we saw. And then from there you can take with this data what you will. Okay? So in case number 1, it actually kind of fell in line with what some of the rumors were, right? With all the big hits were up top. So we ended up with all of our leaders, all of our specials, and all of our anniversary Luffys in the top 6 boxes. And then in box 7, in our video it was box 12, but we had things reversed. In box 7, we actually pulled a manga card. So we actually got Kid in this case. We were really hoping it was Luffy, but we got Kid. So, beggars can't be choosers. It was good pull. So there we go. Everything else, though, within that lower region was just the standard kind of 1 alt or 2 alt boxes with the secret. Moving on to box number 2, or case number 2, rather. This was a little bit more of a mix. So it started off looking the same, right? We had box 1, 2, and 3 were all the leaders and special boxes. But then it kind of broke off. Then it was just standard secret and 2 alt boxes for a while. And then once we got to the lower region, that's when we saw our first signed Oda Luffy card, which was really awesome. That was the card I really wanted the most, along with the manga Luffy, which we unfortunately did not get. And then the leaders finished themselves out, and then we had both of our anniversary normal Luffy cards show up in our final boxes in this case. In case number 3, this is where we started seeing a pretty big deviation. Okay, so we did get 2 of our leaders up top in our first couple boxes, and we got both of our anniversary Luffys up top as well. But then our final 2 leaders and specials we got down below. Okay, so we got 1 special up top, 1 special down below, and kind of a good mix of where the leaders kind of fell in this case. We had both of our anniversary Luffys up top, but we got our second signed anniversary Luffy down below. Now what's cool about this is we didn't know this at the time, so we were very surprised with both of our signed cards, but it looks like, I was under the impression at least that the signed Oda version of Luffy would take the place of one of the normal ones. But that didn't seem to be the case. We always got 2 anniversary Luffys, and then assigned would just take the place of an alt art like a manga would. So that was a nice surprise. Case number 4, oddly, somehow just by dumb luck, I don't know how we got so lucky with this, but we ordered 5 cases and got 4 major hits out of those cases. Case 4 was the only time that we didn't actually get a big hit, being a signed or a manga. But case 4, the way this one broke down is it was very similar to the rumors where all the big hits were up top. So we had every single leader, every single special, and both of our anniversary Luffys show up in the top, and then the bottom half was exceedingly boring. It was just all alt arts. Okay? So nothing too grand there, but it did kind of fall in line with what the rumor mill was. And then our final case went back to kind of being sort of randomish. So we got one of our anniversary Luffys up top, we got a leader and a special up top, and we got our 3rd signed Oda Luffy card in box number 4. And then the rest of our leaders and our last anniversary Luffy were on the bottom. Right? So this one kind of broke out a lot differently than the other ones. So just to kind of really show you how everything played out in a single graphic, here are the percentages of all the leaders or specials that we got. Okay, so we opened 5 cases, so we had 5 boxes in each of these areas. So 20% would be 1 hit, 40% 2 hits, etc. Okay, so as you can see, it really did lean towards the upper boxes having the most hits for the leaders and the specials. But we did get hits below as well. And we did have a couple of the boxes, box 8 and box 12, where we actually didn't have any leaders or specials show up at all for us. Granted, 5 cases is a small sample size, generally speaking, I guess, but we did have 0% there, so kind of fell cold there. Next, kind of looking at the breakdown of where the anniversary Luffys fell for us. This was a nice, a decent spread, but there were a lot of areas where we just didn't get any. So you can see kind of spread around 20s to 40%. We only had that one. Looks like box 3 gave us the most of the anniversary Luffys overall. But yeah, so that's how that one broke out. And then finally, this is where we got our big hits. Okay, so we got 1 signed card in our upper boxes, box number 4. That's where we got one of our signed Luffys. Then we got a Manga Kid and signed Luffy in box number 7 across 2 of our cases. And then box number 12 is where we got our final signed Luffy card. We were hoping to answer the question if you could get a signed Luffy and a manga card in the same case. And while we can't conclusively say no, in our cases, we only got one or the other. We never got both. So, in conclusion, does this show that the cases are all mapped to the uppers? It shows that it isn't. I don't know if we were to spread that out over even more cases, how many of them fall into that every hit is on top kind of model. But ours seemed to have a pretty good spread. We had 2 of them that were very top heavy, and the other ones were a lot more spread out. So hopefully as we move into wave 2 and even wave 3 in the future, I don't know if they'll change how things are oriented in the boxes moving forward, but for now, this is what we have for you. So hopefully this information was useful in some way. If it was, feel free to like, subscribe, all that jazz, right, for YouTube. And I guess we'll see you next time here on Billion Beri. I've been Mike, and see you later.